Oh, yes, yeah.
Hipper, you have the best water at your house.
It's Brita, man.
Is it the Brita?
It's Brita filter.
Dude, I love a good Brita. I love a good Brita.
Got to.
Gosh. I'm tired.
You tired?
I'm tired. I'm poopies, bro.
I'm also.
Well, Hooper, you have an actual reason to be tired because you get up at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
5 days a week to work at FedEx.
Yeah, that's a little rough.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's been hard on me lately. But it's worth it because I get to do this awesome stuff too.
Running on fumes.
Yeah. Are you tired?
No, I'm well rested.
Well rested. What?
Actual... I went to sleep at 2 a.m. So you were waking up at 2?
Yeah.
I was going to sleep at 2 a.m.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Interesting.
That's usually me.
Yeah.
So it's well established you being on this podcast. You're a musician and artist, right?
Like, think so.
What else are you? What is your day job at the moment?
Yeah, my day job is working on a farm 2 days a week. Pays rent.
Love it.
That's pretty country.
It's pretty country.
Pretty country. What kind of stuff are you doing?
We got goats and horses and crops. We had chickens. They all got eaten.
That'll happen.
Yeah, you know. It's breeding season for the goats right now. So we brought – the guys were separated from the girls for all year basically, and now they're back together
Vegas.
again. Yeah,
That's a Vegas
It's going crazy.
It's going crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they make the funniest noises. They're over their tongue sticking out all the time.
Yeah. Do they scream? Like, are these like screaming goats?
Screaming goats, yeah. You hear them all across the farm.
I had a goat I had a couple of goats growing up, but we had one named Noelle, and she was like as big or round as she was like long.
Yeah.
Me too, dude.
Yeah.
I think you're a pretty tall guy.
I'm up there,
How tall
man.
are you?
Like 6'6".
6'6". Yeah.
Way too tall with ropers on.
Mm.
Whatever. I was gonna say, dude, I used to work on a goat farm back in Nebraska when I was in high school. There's these guys, the coolest guys ever. So one of them is a lawyer. He was on Survivor, and the other one, like, he should be like a shaman or something like that. I swear, like just the vibiest guys. But so over by Alcatraz, I don't remember, like off the coast of California, there's another island. I'm pretty sure it's next to it. It's called San Clemente Island. And these goats were about to go extinct, these San Clemente Island goats. So they started this farm that they already kind of had up and running, but they took in, like, you know, a double-digit amount of these goats, and then over the years they turned it into, like, 300.
Wow.
And I worked on the farm, working with them, like, putting up fences for... That was how I started, is, like, they got a bunch more of them, so, like, we had to put up a bunch of fence. But then also, like, building structure, because they like to climb stuff, you know? Yes. And, dude... They are, like, I mean, I've seen a lot of creatures and critters and stuff like that. They are the dumbest animals. I'm pretty sure that single-celled organisms are probably better off than they are, dude. Like, they get themselves into situations.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like, I have no idea. Like, there was one time, so you have, like, if you have a fence and there's, like, 3, you know, horizontal bars in the fence, right? There was a goat that got stuck in the top gap, right?
Yeah.
And I went to go and get because I had to take the top bar thing off, so I went to go get a wrench, and I came back, and 2 goats were right next to it. So they were all 3 stuck together, and I'm like, I don't know, and I'm up close, and like you just look into their eyes, because their eyes are like, their pupils are like rectangles.
Yes.
And you look into their eyes, I'm like, there's nothing going on in there, is there?
No. Their eyes actually kind of scare me.
These freak me out too, dude. They freak me out.
Like, I watched this movie Midsummer, you know?
I've heard that's quite the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, this innocent 5'2" girl is like, that's my favorite movie. And I was like, oh, sweet. This is probably going to be a really good movie. It turned out to be, like, gory. I think it's A24 that makes it.
Is it really?
Yeah, dude. It messed with my mind.
Dang. I love a good A24 movie. Whatever, the Civil War movie that came out recently, that was a
We need to do a movie list.
Yeah. That's a great idea. Yeah. Movie. Yeah. Well, how about that? Okay. Let's, in ascending order, let's all give our top 3 movies of all time.
I don't know if I have 3. I'll try.
So, well, I mean, whichever ones stick out, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah. Go 3, 2.
Dude,
1.
I got them. Yeah, I got them.
Yeah, you got them. You got them on lock. Go for it.
Billy Madison.
Dude.
Valid.
Yeah.
Great answer.
Wonderful movie. It's inspiring. That's number 3. That's number 2. I'm sorry. Let me just go a little out of order. Yeah, number 3 would be Rango with Johnny Depp, the animated movie.
Dude.
Yeah.
The dry humor in that thing just gets me.
Absolutely.
So then we got Rango in 3rd place. We got Billy Madison in 2nd, and then top tier, Dirty Dancing, man.
Dude,
Yeah.
that is such an Axel Rasmussen.
Yeah,
pick,
that is
dude.
such a you movie.
I love that.
I got 2 copies on VHS in case one burns.
There you go.
Awesome. You have a VHS player?
Yeah, it's good.
Dude, good on you.
Yeah, good on you, dude.
You know, back in the day, that was like where the money went. The thrift stores. You got the CDs and the vinyls and the VHSs. So
Right, dude.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. That's a good list.
Yeah.
Great list. Yeah, you can go next. Oh, I'll go next if we're going clockwise around the therapy couch.
Tell us how you
feel. Three for me is I'm gonna have to choose. I'm gonna have to say it's a tie because I love these movies equally, for different reasons. Both Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump, and Captain Phillips. You ever seen Captain Phillips? You know the story behind that one?
I know
It's based on a true story. It's
crazy.
about like a cargo ship. Yeah, cargo ship that was hijacked by Somali pirates.
Yeah.
And they took the captain hostage. Crazy movie. It's awesome. And then Forrest Gump for obvious reason. 2, this would be 1 if it wasn't for my first place. Cars. Cars is a
Ka-chow!
dude. Like, I've watched that movie probably 100 times. I'm not even joking. It does it for me every single time. I love it.
It's great.
But
Are you more of a Tow Mater, Doc Hudson?
Dude,
more
what
Lightning McQueen?
What a great question, man. I like if I had to choose one character that I think that I specifically relate to in Cars, probably Tow Mater, I think, but then like it depends on the day. Some days I'm Tow Mater, I'm just out of it. Some days I'm Lightning McQueen locked in. Some days I'm Doc Hudson dishing out advice and being the rock for the people that people that need it. Some days I'm Fillmore, dude. I'm just like on my couch, absolutely ripped on organic fuel, like just hanging out in my hut, talking about like why Jimi Hendrix's version of the Star Spangled Banner is the best one.
Oh my gosh!
Like, dude, I could go on.
Sarge, Luigi, they're all coming back. Flo, dude,
They are coming back, bro.
What a cast of characters, man.
Dude, genuinely, and like the other 2 movies are unbelievable too.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is one of my. I'll get to my number 1 pick here in a second, but this is one reason I love the Cars trilogy so much. Is the first movie is about like a hotshot celebrity that has to go back to his roots in order to find what racing is really about. Cars 2, an international oil tycoon starts a multinational crisis where they try to murder cars during the biggest like racing events in the world.
Dude,
and they get away with it. Dude, it's like it's crazy.
Oh, and then you got to think about the gap between 2 and 3. Then they started the Planes series.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden you have this entire spin-off and like how do those worlds connect? Cuz I really want to know there's got to be so many issues with so many different kinds of vehicles in the same universe.
I have a theory. This is my Cars conspiracy theory here. Because you have to look at a couple of things. So firstly, one of my big conspiracy theories in Cars 2, when they go to the airport, they have to go through security. They take their wheels off, right? And they have to scoot their way through the security scanners. Bro, there was a Cars 911 in order for that to happen.
There was a Cars Hitler.
There was a Cars Hitler. You're right, for the exact same reason.
whole history.
Yeah. So
Isn't that crazy?
it is crazy.
What was Hitler?
Yeah.
Like, I want to know what vehicle.
Right. Well, so this
Volkswagen.
is the way that I look at it. Based on the timeline and like the way that the timeline works, I think that there's a parallel universe sort of thing where a couple things are happening at the same time. But my theory here is that at some point, cars were fitted with AI. In whatever universe they're in, they were fitted with AI. They became sentient. And it went on from cars to planes and boats and everything else that could get it. And eventually, the cars are they're able to overtake the humans, firstly in intelligence, but also because they're big machines, they can control humans. They enslave the humans, make the humans build a world for them, for the cars that fits them, like going back to the airplane thing. They have seats on the airplane, like where they just park, right?
Right.
They also have the doctor's office. They have a lift in the doctor's office. They forced all the humans to build that stuff for them, and then they just eradicated all the humans.
That's
my theory.
Wow.
That's my theory. And that's why there's certain things it's there's no way a car could possibly build that, but then also why is this thing car specific?
But the fork trucks, you got the forklift certified fork trucks.
That's true.
They can build anything.
They can build anything. That is very true. Beat Stomp. Legendary. Iconic. Okay, I'll quit ranting about cars. My number 1 movie is Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, dude.
My favorite movie.
Yeah.
From a critical standpoint, like everything, just unbelievable movie.
I've got to be in a right mood for a movie like that. I'm not a huge movie or television guy, anyways. Like, I didn't have streaming services for a very long time. Like, I have a girlfriend now, and that's why I have streaming services, because she wants to watch things, right? So, but so most of my like favorite movies are comedies or like early childhood, like some form of like encouragement. So, like, I was gonna say Forrest Gump. That was a good one for me. But maybe I'll still put that on my third. I love Forrest Gump. It's one of the most quotable movies of all time. But that leads me to my number 2, which is Borat. That is the most quotable movie of all time.
Yeah.
Like,
I
do that all the time. Woo, woo, you king of the castle. I got a chair. All the time. And it's so raunchy, but it's like in a good
never
way.
Get this.
Yeah, like
never get this.
The part that gets me every single time is when he's back in Kazakhstan and there's this girl and he like grabs her by the face and just starts like making out with her and he points the camera. This is my sister.
Best prostitute in all of Kazakhstan. Oh my gosh, it's so quotable. And some of them, like, there's a few lines in it that you can't quote. Like, well, we can't.
We'll leave that up to Borat. Leave his words as his.
I think number 1, and this is one I don't watch enough, and I need to go back and watch because it's also really quotable, is Remember the Titans. That movie,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's
a staple of my childhood. Like, I remember, like, just wanting to play football. I was so bad at football growing up, right? I was bad at all sports. I was a chubby little bowling ball. You know, I went from 5'3".
Did you try bowling?
I probably should have instead of football. I was 5'3" in 6th grade.
Okay.
And I was 6'3" in 8th grade, right? Big jump. But I was the same weight.
Your voice hadn't changed yet, had it?
No, not at all. No, not when. It still hasn't. I mean, it still hasn't. No, but so I should not have been playing football at all. I literally I could probably barely walk. I don't know how I was running. But that movie was so inspiring to me, yet not leading to anything. Obviously, like I pick up a guitar and I'm, work at FedEx.
Yeah. Dude, every time I think of Remember the Titans, we watched it once a semester in my PE class.
Cool.
It was this guy, Mr. Pleasant. He could be pleasant, but he had a mean streak in him. But when he put on Remember the Titans, I think that man would cry. I think every time.
Why wouldn't you? It's that movie to me, at least. Yeah. I don't know. It was back then. I don't know. I need to watch it again, but that movie sticks with me. 2 honorable mentions though. Band of Brothers.
Yeah.
Band of Brothers is like top tier for me, and I watch it once a year, like at least once a year. Normally January, I'll turn it on and I'll watch it. And then the other one is Magic School Bus, the movie. Dude,
Miss Frizzle.
If you've never, Miss Frizzle is electric.
Yeah, literally.
If you've not watched Magic School Bus, like the movie, because there's like the episodes, but there's like the movie.
Are they going in the bloodstream? What are they doing there?
So they go on a few different adventures, and like they're saving. I think they're saving the school or saving. I can't remember, like the exact plot of it. But I remember it was like a total mind trip, like the whole time. If
you turn into Fillmore and watch Magic School Bus, yeah, you're onto something there.
There you go.
That sounds like a good time, man. I like that.
Yeah. Great.
Awesome.
3 movies, yeah. We'll do a movie night.
Yeah.
I like it. I got the projector.
Oh, it's true. We'll have to have a movie night, dude.
Yeah.
Awesome. Dude, Axel, let's talk tunes, man. Where's your background? Like, where does it start? Like, here's this is a question that I got asked. I think it's a great question. What is the first song you can remember like singing along to?
Oh man! All right, this is very strange. So when I was growing up, my mom said that John Denver and James Taylor would put me to sleep, and I remember vividly like listening to those songs. Mm-hmm. But the first song that I remember hearing for the first time and being like, I can remember the place and where we were and everything like that. I don't listen to this song anymore. I don't know why this song resonated with me at the time, but it's by Train. I'm blanking on it right now. Oh my gosh. Soul Sister,
Hey, Soul
dude.
Sister.
Yeah, dude. When I heard that song coming through the radio, I was like, this is the best song ever.
That's awesome.
And of all the songs that I don't listen to that song anymore, but yeah, dude, it's great. Train.
It's a very well written song.
Yeah, I guess so. Speaking of Train too, my sixth grade, Trains is another movie sequel. No. But I remember in sixth grade, we had to do a project where you had to pick a song and do like show elements of literacy, like alliteration and rhyme scheme and stuff like that. And I picked Drops of Jupiter by Train.
Oh, cool.
Dude.
I failed.
What?
Really?
I failed the assignment. I'm not even kidding you. I don't know what I did, but I just remember being like, I got this in the bag. And then she's like, you missed this literary thing. You totally butchered this one. I was like, and here I am writing songs.
Good ones.
Take that, teach.
Good songs too.
Good songs, too.
We texted about one before the show, and I'd love you to talk about it.
Yeah, for
got
sure.
a pretty recent cut. Tamed by Tennessee.
Yeah, man.
Tamed.
Yeah.
Tamed by Tennessee.
Tamed by
Dude,
Tennessee.
by Tennessee.
great, awesome song.
Thanks, man.
I heard
was a
that
fun
for the
one.
first time because Chris Andrucci, he plays at Losers all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Big fan of him, dude. He's awesome. Scottish as hell.
Dude,
Awesome.
yeah, oh,
Yeah.
yes.
But I heard that song for the first time, and then I went and listened to the track, and man, great tune, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like you talk about elements of literacy in that one.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I love it, man. I love everything from just like the cadence of it, the melodies that you guys chose.
Yeah, Tamed by
the topic too, of course, like especially for Chris, man.
Oh yeah. This is Tamed by Tennessee has such a cool story. We go in to Lady Luck. John Haywood and Chris and I had written together. This time Kim Penns was in the room, and basically had just come off of this idea of like being wild and untamed, and then Chris brought in the Tennessee aspect, and then we get to write, and Kim, Chris, and I, and John's in the room. We're writing the whole first verse. John's silent the whole time. We get to the chorus. John spits out. I'm pretty sure if I recollect the whole first verse. We scratch all that we've written in the first verse. John Haywood wrote
Really?
by himself, silent.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Totally separate from you.
Totally separate. And
Dang.
we're like, all right, that's the first verse. Then we go on. We write the rest of the song, however that goes. Chris texts us a little while later and says it's on hold. And so let's make a demo of it and all this stuff. And we're like, yeah, this is great. We're pumped. Then Chris keeps playing it out, and Callum Keir, I have a hard time. It's another Scottish last name. He hears it out, and he's like, dude, if you don't cut that, I will. And Callum's a great guy, big old songwriter in town, does a bunch of things, modeling, acting, just a stud. And so he talks to Chris, and they come to this thing like, why don't we do it as a duet? We're both Scottish, both Tamed by Tennessee. We got girls here keeping us. I think they both have girls. I know Callum's married here in Tennessee. And then they cut it and just took off. Dude, major props to them for doing like the content that they did every day, posting.
Dude, yeah.
Awesome.
And went viral for sure.
I saw it everywhere.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Did different settings, did it acoustic, did it with the backing track, they put in the work.
I'm really curious, like as an artist who got to be a songwriter, right? You know, like you didn't put that song out, they did.
Yes.
How was that? You know, like getting to be a writer on a song you see do well.
Yeah. It's great surprise. You know, like I left that room and I was like, I know I'm not cutting that song. And so I was like, we'll see where this goes, you know? And I didn't know if anybody else in that room was fired up about the song. It's kind of hard to judge sometimes. And
yeah,
apparently Chris was. This was great.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I bet that was a unique feeling too. Like normally going into rooms like that, I mean, me as just a songwriter, like I go into the room with like the perspective of like I'm going to write a song for somebody else every time. Mm-hmm. So like was that your perspective going in to write that song? Like when you like started to get into the song, was it pretty clear like the song was not yours? It was.
Yeah, I think so. Like I came into the room with that idea of being wild and untamed because I knew that all three of us were, you know, rowdy guys. And so I figured we could connect with that. And then, like I said, the Tennessee aspect came into it, and I was like, okay, and Chris is putting out stuff all the time and playing all the time, so he's got that platform. And it was also going back to being an artist or being a songwriter rather than an artist. It was nice that as the songwriter side, you just watch them do all the content and you just post it on your story, promote it, share it with your friends rather than take 2 hours of your day to get a 30-second clip or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? So, yeah.
You got to experience that twice pretty recently. Once with me and once on your own of getting cuts. You know.
Yeah.
Was that pretty refreshing? You've been a big content guy. I mean, that's kind of how you got started in all this. Was that like a big, refresh, getting to just hit share?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, man. My buddy Tyler Anthony put out a song that he, me, him, my keys player, because we just come back from tour. He was there, Eli Holland, and then our buddy, our tour manager at the time, well, still our tour manager, Charlie Schrader. We just jammed on it, and it's like that feeling of that was just a great, experience being in a room, because we wrote that back in I think February. But being in a room with everybody, getting to really like, because I'd done co-writes where like you show up and write, but this is just like all of us buddies together in a room jamming on a song, and Tyler did a live session of it, and I mean he's just a powerhouse dude.
Oh
He sang the pants off of that song, and yeah, that's a great point. Is it's super satisfying being able to just sit back, hit share, and kind of watch from afar at all the people that are really enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man. It's super cool.
We had another one that you and I were both a part of. Tennessee T-shirt. So another Tennessee song.
Oh, yeah.
Man, this state is pretty easy to write about.
It's almost like we live here.
Yeah, I know.
Well, the guy who wrote that for does not. He's a Kentucky boy.
Ah.
So Tanner Jackson, and he came in with that idea. We did a writer's retreat. A little plug.
Yeah.
Margaret's have been Farms.
Great place.
Yeah. So I'm lucky enough to get to be a part of that.
It's got the magic there.
Yeah.
Dude, after spending the weekend there, like it being able to do that. I mean, firstly, as like collectively all of our first, like real writers retreats, like, because I mean the only other one that I've done was like when I actually came to Nashville with Dustin and Tanner.
Yeah.
And having that be the vibe, but this time it was like, okay, we're all, we're establishing ourselves as songwriters a little bit more. Let's go with the intention of just going out and writing songs. Because the first time was like, let's go do Nashville, because none of us had really like been to Nashville to do Nashville, kind of writing songs on the side. This time it's like you're on the drive out there and you're coming up with ideas and thinking about the way that we're gonna do it. Like we get there, we break it down. Hooper breaks it down for either writing for me or for writing for Tanner. Like, let's do it. Let's break off. Let's go to different rooms and we end up with songs, and then just getting to hang out and drink whiskey and hang out on the back patio. Get stung by wasps.
Watch some cows and
check out
have a little bonfire.
Yeah, that was where I learned. I got stung by a wasp, and as soon as I did, I think it was Dustin had a Zen in, and he like took it out and he went to stick it on me. Like, what are you doing? He's like, trust me. And I stick it on the wasp sting, or like killed it. Like, didn't feel anything after that. I did not know that nicotine neutralizes wasp stings.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's where I learned that.
My dad quit smoking and dipping the day my oldest brother was born. So he was like 23, right? But my parents always kept a pack of cigarettes in the house. And I was like, why? Like, if dad quit smoking, why is there a pack of cigarettes? It's for that. I got stung by a bee, and my mom ran to the kitchen drawer, grabbed a cigarette, got it a little bit damp, and put it on there. I was like, what? That works? Yeah. Cool. And so, like, my parents always kept cigarettes in the house just for that.
You should have been like, dang, Mom, I really feel like smoking a cigarette right now. Why'd you do that?
I bet that would get rid of it too. Like smoke it a little bit and then just like ash it out on the.
that'd be hardcore, dude.
You would not be worried about the wasp.
You wouldn't feel the wasp anymore. That's for sure. That's crazy. I didn't know that it worked on bees too. That's good to know. Yeah, for sure.
All right, back to a little more music stuff, Axel. I'm curious. You've got a pretty damn country job, which is good. It's kind of hard to have one of those living in Nashville. So
yeah, rocked my world.
I'm really like, that's pretty cool to see that. Has that led to any like unique inspiration in your songwriting?
Oh yeah, for sure. When I moved to town, I thought that Nashville was going to be Broadway, some studios, some suburbs, and then all farmland around it. When I came here, I realized that this is a big old city. Yeah. Suburbs are sprawling. Farmland is sparse. So
I also, just really quick, I don't know, where is it that you're from?
Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Really? Right on.
East Coast,
sweet.
man.
Yeah, good stuff.
Dude.
Cool.
And we got like we had this the southern part of Virginia Beach is all flat farmland. It's a great time down there. But here's cool because it's got the hills and different vegetation.
A lot of vegetation.
But a lot of poison ivy, man. I've come to find on this farm. I swear every other week I've got poison ivy on me, dude. And so yeah, moved here 3 years ago. Did a bunch of odd jobs and stuff like that. And then 2.5 years after moving here, I finally got this farm job. I was working with a farrier, doing horse room stuff. Cool. And I was working inside and at one of these bonfires. I was like, dude, I'm tired of working inside. You got anything for me? He's like, yeah, just call up this guy. He's on a farm. He needs a farm hand. And since being on the farm, though, yeah, a lot of mundane work. I mean, talk about painting the side of a barn. Like, it's pretty close to that. And
literally watching paint dry.
Yeah, so yeah, a lot of I'll be in the fields weeding and just have songs come to me and stuff like that. And it's pretty cool because I do a lot of voice memos. Yeah. And I'm so excited to like go through all these, and because you can hear like the sounds around, like goats screaming in the back or like the tractor running behind you or whatever. That's like cool. That. You might
clip those and use them for something, Yeah.
And I grew up listening to, or not, I didn't grow up. I'd say in high school, that's when I got turned on to country. I got started listening to country music because of line dancing.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
So that's a topic I would definitely love to get into. What's your background with that? Because that's a big thing for sure where I'm from. Like we have a couple of big line dancing bars. Some of them are more country than others. But yeah, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, man. So Virginia Beach, even though it's on the beach, it's a military town. And so it's got like 3 dance halls. It had 3. It only has 2 now, I think. But we could have been like 17 or 18, but we were definitely underage. And we could go to the bars until like 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
Cool.
And then they'd kick us out. And some girls were like, hey, let's go line dancing. And I was like, girls and dancing. Great combination. Let's do this. so
like my kind of party.
Yeah, dude. So I don't know anything about country music, line dancing, or anything, but I know about girls and dancing, so let's go down there. And we do it every Thursday night, and I just, we look like a fool for the first month or so, and then I start listening to songs. It's Brooks and Dunn and Keith Urban and Luke Bryan, and I'm like, these guys actually, I rock with this. These are cool songs. Alan Jackson, all that, and then I got into like Texas country hard. John Party. Cody Johnson. I know John Party's really like from California, but he's got that Texas sound and stuff. Yeah. Park McCollum and all that. So, that's definitely where got into that.
Cool. What's your favorite line dance?
Oh yeah, favorite line dance is man, hands down, "Trouble" by Travis Tritt.
Let's go. Yeah, that's one of my favorites too. Yeah. That's a fun one.
They don't do the same. Line dancing is regional, and two-step's regional.
Right.
Texas two-step is totally different than the East Coast. And then they got West Coast swing now, and they got country swing. It's crazy. I used to compete, and I had to step back because all the different styles. I was like, this is too much for me.
Wait, so when did that come into play? When did competing?
Because
you've mentioned this.
Yeah, I think I did my first competition here in Nashville for line dancing. I was a part of a Latin dance team in college.
That's sick, dude. Love it.
We did some team competitions there.
Okay, so walk us through that. Where did you go to college?
Old Dominion University.
Nice.
In Norfolk, Virginia. It was in the same conference as MTSU.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. And now they've gone separate ways, but it was a blast in college, dude. So
did you go there with the intention of doing this Latin dance? Or
no, man.
Is this something you picked up there?
This something I picked up there. Yeah, I did ballroom dancing and Latin dance kind of randomly in college. It just they seemed like fun classes and clubs to join. And speaking of college and girls, that always helps. And college did not play out how I thought it would at all. Like, I went to study mechanical engineering because my uncles and my dad and bunch of family friends and stuff did engineering, and I was like, I'll do this for the rest of my life, I guess. And then I just kept playing shows through college. And did you guys play shows growing up? Obviously, it's like,
when did you start? I did not do a lot of country shows. I always grew up loving country music. It's a big part of my life. talking about my record collection. I really got started with my, grandparents really. But I grew up playing a lot of rock, and I mean, everybody in the South plays in church. Like that's like a big thing. But I started playing like a bunch of alt rock shows and like pop shows with my friends that made music.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just anywhere, a lot of coffee shops.
Oh, yeah.
Knoxville has like a decent live music scene for country music, but for everything else, it's like you have to kind of infiltrate. And so playing those shows, I was just mostly playing bass or drums for other people.
Sure.
Cool. Yeah, performing for me came from a lot of different backgrounds because I was involved in all sorts of choir, theater, musical theater stuff, show choir, in middle and high school, and then I ended up going to college for that as well. I was on scholarship for theater, choir, band stuff.
No way,
dude, had a blast with it, man. I was only there for a year because I was not a fantastic student. I was all right,
You're a
but
student
like
of country music.
I also
girls.
Yeah, girls. But I went to this little tiny liberal arts school in Crete, Nebraska. It's so funny. It's called Doane University, and the student body was like 1,400 people.
Wow.
So that's like my first school. I went to Johnson University in Knoxville. That's a whole wraparound story. But I graduated high school at 16.
Yeah.
And pretty much like said screw you to whatever my parents had to say and did what I wanted because of girls. It was worst choice ever because I ended up where they told me to go anyways at MTSU. But that kind of brings me back around. I totally skipped over. I played cello growing up, starting like second grade, and I played in the symphony orchestra. So that was really how I got started performing.
Which is so sick. I love that that's your background in that because I have so like my background definitely goes into classical stuff too. I mean, from like a band perspective, and then a little bit of vocal performance stuff when I was in high school for like if you want to audition for the all-state choir, you have to learn those classic American, Italian performance pieces. But then when I was in college, I started to go the direction of American classical performance and opera, and I really, really enjoyed that. I had an awesome teacher for that, and she got me onto all sorts of different types of classical vocal performance music and those solo pieces. Which I ended up getting another scholarship for that, which I was going to carry into my sophomore year. I picked up that scholarship when I was in college, and I decided I really want to rock with this. So I counseled at a summer camp summer after my freshman year, and then I decided to go back, in the fall. But there's a lot of changes that were made with the administration there. They cut a lot of funding to the arts programs and the arts department and stuff like that. And that alone had caused some of my friends to leave. So I withdrew about 6 weeks in with the plans to go somewhere else. And then stuff kind of happened. But before I get to that, before we keep on going, I think it is time for a piss break.
Piss break.
Piss break. We'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by
us.
I'm Hooper.
And I'm Cooper.
And we run a demo studio in the greater Nashville area.
We're both singer-songwriters here in town, and we completely understand the struggle of having music that you want to share at pitches and to show to your friends, but Nashville demos are really expensive.
So we've come up with a business model that will never change.
$50 acoustic demos, $100 full band demos, studio quality, the highest level production you can find.
If this is something that suits you, reach out to us at Hoop and Coop Demos on Instagram.
That's Hoop, the letter N as in Nancy, Coop, Demos.
On Instagram.
That was a good piss, dude.
Good piss break.
Good piss.
Pass out your piss?
You guys will still learn about what that is when you're older. That's a reference. If you don't know what we're talking about, go listen to the first episode where Hooper and I break down what the goals are for this podcast. We also talk about all sorts of stuff about us.
Yeah.
It was very fun.
Get to know you.
We accidentally started a segment that I think we would like to continue with this show. And that segment, I think we're just gonna call it Hell Yeah. So
Dudes that make things say hell yeah.
things that make dudes say hell yeah.
Dudes that make things.
Dudes that makes things say hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what we are. We are just like dudes that make. I mean, you especially, dude, make pretty little things say hell yeah.
Yeah, you do. Pretty little thing.
I don't like objectifying girls as things, but if you're a pretty little thing, hit up Axel.
Well, hey, Michael Jackson was calling him PYT.
PYT?
I love PYT. Pretty young thing. Beat out the man.
Dude.
Anyway,
So
hell yeah.
hell yeah. A couple examples. So pissing outside, obviously.
Yeah.
They say hell
Good
yeah.
return too.
That was a great one.
Another one for me was when you pick up your guitar and it's already in tune.
Oh,
That's a
hell
musician's hell yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. One that I thought of the other day, starting a chainsaw.
Bro.
Love it.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. There's something about it, dude.
What's your hell yeah?
Dude, chopping wood.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Like, I mean, anything outside, like doing anything outside, like work-wise, chopping wood, cutting down trees, like looking at a fence that you just put up. Like,
Hell yeah. I think also too, getting those the frozen chicken tenders, popping those things in the microwave, and just like doing some weird sauce combinations.
dude, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Homemade barbecue sauce?
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
I haven't done that yet, but I need to do that.
I'm actually really curious if this is like just a me thing, but like when air fryers started becoming popular, I was like, that's girly. You know, like I don't know. In my head, it was just like not a manly thing to do. So I would just default to the microwave anyways.
Yeah.
So wrong, dude. I was so wrong. Air fryers are so good.
Dude, they're so good. I love a good air
I haven't hopped on that wagon yet, but I need to. I'm like 20 years behind in the culinary world. You know? But
We're in a house from 1932.
Yeah.
So you see where I'm about at.
Dude,
Air
that's another hell
I don't
yeah
have a
for me.
dishwasher.
Is going camping and firing up a cast iron, throwing some eggs and bacon, potatoes in there,
Oh,
salt and pepper.
hell.
camp food, little stray away from the hell yeah section, but I used to camp once a month growing up, and it was a bunch of the guys, and we would cook crappy food, basically.
That's like the best part of it,
Yeah.
dude. We freaking fried Pop-Tarts one
Yeah,
time in
dude.
the cast
Yes,
iron.
yes.
Yeah.
Like that's a
What was your
great-
like go-to?
Shucks. Our thing was a lot of bacon. You
Dude.
just carry the bacon around, and then
That's still a hell yeah.
yeah. But we one time we ran out of food or something, and all we had were those a biscuit roll
Yeah.
of biscuits,
Mhm.
and so we like smushed them down like pancakes, and we were like, this is amazing. We could start a restaurant off of this stuff.
There you
And then I
go.
tell my parents about this, and I cook it for them, and this sucked. I think we were just cold and hungry on the camp. You know?
It was so bad.
It was so bad. But when you're in a nice warm house and you have plenty of other options, it tastes like crap.
This kind of leads me to another thing we talked about last time was our campfire song.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we mentioned a few last time, or karaoke song. I like the idea of a campfire song because it's a song you want to sing at a very certain time, you know? Do you have one of those songs?
Yeah, man. Let's think here. I've sung a lot of songs around campfires.
It doesn't have to be country either.
Yeah,
That's
I like having fun with the campfire songs, almost like some Shania Twain or Taylor Swift. It's
There you
always
go.
good.
Yeah.
good pick.
Little T Swift, throw that in there.
Yeah. One of my favorite songs is "The Joker" by Steve Miller Band.
Great song.
Yeah, dude. So that's a fun one to pull out.
Do you want to give us a taste of it?
We could give a little taste of some songs.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Do you want to play my guitar or yours?
Yeah. Let's see here. Right now?
Sure, yeah.
Why not?
Oh,
You're good. It's an SM7B. You could run over those with a plane and it'd be all right.
let's see.
There you go.
Oh.
Sorry.
I probably should have put the guitar a little closer. I might go with the other one. Just it's a little easier to play. And probably closer to being in tune. It's a half step down, by the way.
Good. Keep on there.
Because we're in Nashville.
Oh yeah, the Nashville
Exactly.
tuning. Oh,
Yep.
it's hard to get your boots on the couch. Boots on the couch. Just gonna go
The therapy couch.
Therapy couch.
We're keeping that entire bit of you crawling over the couch in, by the way.
I hope so. Oh gosh.
There's probably a good shot of your butt right in the middle of that. Dude.
Let's see here. Okay.
There you go.
It's gonna work.
Here, for editing's sake, give us a little gap before you do your first strum of the song, and then we'll cut it into there.
Okay.
Do you want to give him your mic for the guitar so you can have him?
Yeah. I'll just put 2 mics on you.
Yeah, man. Okay. Yeah, this is a campfire song. Steve Miller Band, The Joker. And I just changed the valve cover gaskets on my car, so that's why my nails look like little grimy. Some people call me the space cowboy. Yeah. Some call me the gangster love. Some people like to call me Maurice, 'cause I speak the competence of love. People talk about me, baby. Say I'm doing you wrong. But don't you worry now, baby, 'cause I'm right here at home. 'Cause I'm a picker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun. Sing along. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I sure don't wanna hurt no one. Pass me another beer. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Dude, I think that song is a song that, I mean, that's a hell yeah right there.
That is a hell yeah.
Dude. I didn't know what a midnight toker was for the longest time.
Organic fuel, man.
Just that organic fuel.
Don't forget to cash out your piss break.
Ash out your piss break. Hooper, am I still lined up here on my camera?
Yeah, you're beautiful.
Fabulous. Thanks, buddy.
Wonderful.
Dude, nothing beats.
Good job, man.
like,
Dude,
yeah,
that was awesome.
that was
Dude,
great.
wait. Quick.
That was great.
I gotta give you. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Put you on the spot there.
Thanks for singing along.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Nothing beats when you're sitting around and you're playing a song, just sitting around a campfire, sitting in somebody's house, and everybody joins in, and like all of us as singers, especially, like, throw a little harmony on there.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite thing, man. That's my
Dude,
favorite thing to do.
I'm really bad at harmonies. I used to be good. I don't know what happened. I think like the tinnitus from the airplanes in the Air Force is really, dude. I'm so bad at harmonies. I can get a low harmony in.
Yeah. Get that bass.
And sometimes I can do like a good third or fifth, but like, man,
sometimes that's all you need is the third or fifth.
Yeah. But I'm a bass player. I also want to sing the root note. Just give me the root note.
That's true.
Talking about how when you get a group together of people and they start singing here in town, it never ceases to amaze me the surprise of people coming in, visiting me or whatever, and we have a party or we go out around town and something like that happens musically, and they're just like, oh yeah, this is Music City. Like, everyone here plays a musical instrument. Dude, or everyone can sing. They're like, when back home, the campfire, no one sings because everyone is tone deaf. Here it's just like, oh wow, this is free.
Yeah.
Dude. All right. Break into a little story real quick. So I went to Laurel Cove Festival this past year. It's insane. If you've never been, buy a ticket.
I want to go so bad.
It's so good. I got to like hang backstage with like some of my favorite country artists. But afterwards, we all go up to a campsite and sit around, and like everybody there, first off, is a good musician.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even the audience members are like insane, and it's like everybody. I mean, I'm talking like Drayton Farley, the Red Clay Strays, Wyatt Flores, like all had been playing, before up on stage and like killing it. And then we get to this campfire and like everybody's sitting around, just singing songs you'd never heard before.
Oh,
the originals.
Oh wow, yes.
And then people would learn the chorus, and by the end of it, you have like 30 people harmonizing.
So sick.
It is insane on songs they just have or heard for the first time. Crazy.
That's when you know you have a good song too, when people can follow it.
Great point.
Yeah.
That was the thing too. Is like every song was good enough that you knew it by the time you got to the second chorus. It was incredible. Like I was so impressed that many good musicians were all sitting there together. And like I'm telling you, some of the best songs I heard were from people who were there just to attend. Yep. You know, they weren't musicians, like they weren't like professionals. They were like just there to see their favorite artists, and then they come up with these songs that they've written, you know, on their back porch that are insane. So I don't know, Laurel Cove Festival, shout out, like they do a good job. Yeah, I will probably go back every year for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that is a venue I want to play very, very badly.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Dude, we stormed the pond after Red Clay Strays played. Yeah. We stormed the pond. We all I'm talking like people are belly flopping to this thing. At the end of it, like they come up and play acoustic up in the front of the stage and like just singing right to us, and we're all standing there soaking wet, splashing water everywhere, and like arms around each other. Just like I'm talking. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of people at this festival, right? In the middle of the woods, all camping, smelling like dirt, and you know. We all get in this pond together, and it's packed from like one side to the other. And like, if you haven't seen that pond, it's like, I don't know, like 50, 75 feet across and like 20 feet deep. And I'm talking people.
20 feet deep.
No, I mean,
yes,
yeah, 20 feet from like the front to the back.
It's like you guys just treading water the whole time.
no, it's only
that'd be crazy.
It's like the deepest part is like knee deep.
Okay.
And it's like crystal clear water. It's beautiful. It's like a little spring comes into it. It's cool. But I'm talking from the front of that to the back of it is just people. Yeah. Everybody arms around each other, splashing, dude, singing along. It was so cool.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's a dream, man.
Yeah.
What was your first concert, Axel?
First concert was Keith Urban.
Keith Urban.
In the rain. I will never, ever forget this concert, dude. Once again, I went with girls.
Girls.
And we're getting...
PYTs.
Yeah, dude. We're getting poured on, dude. And we're like, there's no way this concert's going to go down. And we're in it's the Virginia Beach Amphitheater. So it's just like Jiffy Lube Live. I think there's probably one or two other amphitheaters of the similar build where you have like the awning for the seated tickets and then like lawn seats. Mm-hmm. And we're in the lawn, just getting dumped on, soaked before the concert even starts. And then he comes out. We're like, no way, this is great. And he sounds just like the record. He's giving all he's got to the crowd and stuff like that. And
how old are you during all that?
This is like 18 or 19, okay. I think. Yeah, I wasn't like I had a good childhood, great childhood, no complaints. But at the same time, for someone who loved music so much, I did not go to concerts. I don't know if I just didn't want to ask my parents to drive me to them, or I don't know. I obviously at 18 I could drive to concerts, and 16 and all that stuff, but I just it wasn't in my life, I guess. But yeah, so and then Keith Urban, he's done this since, I think, almost every concert that I've seen him, is he puts a little stage closer to the audience than the main stage. So this time he had a little stage basically in front of the lawn seats. So he comes out, we are just having the time of our lives, and then you watch Keith Urban walk down the aisles and get like 15 feet away from you. Meanwhile, before that, you were watching him from like hundreds of feet away.
Right.
So now he's like in your face, just singing. He gives his guitar away to some girl, you know, some little teenager or something like that, I guess. And
dude, he can play.
Oh, he's the real deal, man.
You can play. He can play.
Yes. That guy just shreds, and it's so effortless for him, which is phenomenal to watch.
Yeah.
He's not going through the motions either. Like I said, he's pouring his heart and soul into it, and he's having fun with it. You just feed off of that for sure.
Unbelievable performer, man. All the videos that I've seen of him are just like.
Have you guys talked about your first concerts?
I don't know if we have. What was yours?
It was probably a Christian music concert, probably like Winter Jam or something. My first like real deal, like big deal concert. Again, I grew up like performing, and so I saw a lot of classical stuff. But I saw. Oh man. Who all did we see? I always would go to the Christmas concerts at the Bijou Theater in Knoxville, and there's always like insane bands. Like such good lineups. Tennessee Theater, actually, Mumford and Sons came through.
Oof.
That was probably
the
first one I really remember.
Striking a chord there, man.
That was a cool show.
I'm sure they put on a great show.
But then right before I moved here, first country concert, I would say. I know, like I said, I grew up listening to country all the time. I'd go to bluegrass shows and stuff and bar shows. But I was 18, I guess, came here and got to see Trace Atkins and Carrie Underwood.
Cool.
Where at? Which venue? Bridgestone? Dang.
Insane.
Wow.
And then I saw Pitbull. Carrie Underwood came out for that too. That was cool. I was not expecting that at all. She just walked out with Pitbull. That was the coolest thing.
Yeah. Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide. That was not. I don't even know if they sang together. I don't remember, but she was just there.
Yeah, I don't know of any duets with them, but
no, I think she just showed up because she does that a lot. I saw her with Need to Breathe in Bridgestone too, actually.
Cool.
But so last year I went to 100 live shows. That's bar shows, everything to Bridgestone Arena. But
you documented that, you're saying? You just kind of remember?
Yeah. Me and my buddy Henry, we just started going to shows 2 years ago, really heavily, and then started going to rounds and stuff. And we're like, well, every actual we weren't counting rounds, but every show where it was an artist is headlining this, we started documenting it. And we went to over 100 in a year span,
crazy.
2022, 23.
It's also
amazing.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a big thing for me either. Growing up, going to concerts, just playing in them. My brother was in a band, so I would see him go play, and it was mostly folk covers, a lot of Mumford and Sons. Seeing him play that stuff. So he did a lot of live music and kind of got me into it.
That's great.
Sweet. I'm totally picturing the entire time that you're talking about that. I'm just picturing Carrie Underwood going out. Just, carve my name into his leather seat. Pitbull's in the background, just yeah.
Again, I don't even know if they I think she was just there and he spotlighted her. No. But it was really weird. It was I'm here to see Pitbull. Yeah. Iggy Azalea opened up, and
whatever happened to her, man?
Great question. I don't know.
I don't know if I want to know, but
yeah.
No.
Dang. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. So the first concert that I actually went to, where it's we're going to a concert, going to see a concert, was either at the Sarpy County Fair or the Nebraska State Fair, and it was Montgomery Gentry. And dude, it was so good. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
That definitely struck a chord in me. I was 10, I think that lit me up. But
I was wrong about my first country concert. It was Scotty McCreery at the Tennessee State Fair. I was 17.
Really?
Dude, and he put on a show. A freaking show. Wow. That dude can sing.
Yeah. All everything that I've seen of Scotty McCreery, he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did the concert for Carolina thing, and he came out and sang 5 more minutes for that.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Yeah.
Talk about a song that you're singing by the end of that. The song is 5 more minutes.
100%. Great. That is a legendary song.
Is that song 5 minutes long though? I always thought about that. I was I hope it's a 5-minute song, dude. Dang it.
But that leads me to another question. What led you to starting to perform?
Yeah, man.
I know you played a lot back home.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know, man. Just I start my first performance. This is all just a joke, really. But I remember me and my buddy. We didn't have guitars at the time, but we were we are gonna put on a rock show for our neighbors. So we get all of our neighbors. We had some original songs. It's a cappella, because
how old were you guys?
We were I don't know, 5th grade, 6th. Yes.
Oh wow, early on. Yeah.
Early on, dude. We just want to rock, And we called ourselves Static.
Dude,
fire name. Great name. Yeah.
And Static.
The way you say it's so important too. Yeah.
And so our first concert as Static was a 1-song concert. We had a lot, but we chickened out. We literally were we're playing with broomsticks. I'm not even kidding you. You got to give props to the neighbors for sticking to it and not laughing us off, throwing tomatoes at us. But we got them set up in the garage, and we're outside just being do 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 do.
You making the noises?
Yeah, dude. And man, it was
no backing track.
Nothing. Just
that's awesome.
What was the song? I gotta know.
Your staircase is on fire. Dude, it was AC/DC. We're your staircase is on fire. Staircases in flames. We're like, dude, it's just like, we had a great time, and then we totally chickened out. We're like, we're done. That's all you get. And then
leave them wanting, dude.
Yeah, leave them wanting. You know, it was a one and done concert for sure. Like, we took the nation by storm, and then went to the darkness. You know, but
you could get your tickets refunded by the original point of sale.
How did that escalate into you now?
So then we got guitars. Me and my buddy got guitars for Christmas, and then because guitars for some reason just seemed like this far away thing. It's always been a part of my life. I started on piano when I was 4. My parents were like, "You're gonna do this," and then, like I said, in 5th grade, before we had guitars, I convinced that same friend to join band class because I was like, "We're gonna be the next Van Halen," and I get to band class and it's an orchestra. I was like, "This is where's the lights and the stage," and so, but I picked the dude. I want dude. And so I picked saxophone because I was like, this is the jazziest thing we can do.
Yes, sir.
But then and then it was like not until 8th grade, I think, when I seriously got serious about guitar, and then it took me a lot of like self-confidence building to be like perform instead of just like with a broomstick, and
you gotta break the broomstick out for another show now.
Yeah.
Just go have your guitar player like tucked away in the background, just like ripping the solo, and you're just up there on your knees, just shredding it.
Next Halloween.
Dude, yeah,
there you go.
You're right, dude. Yeah, Static making a reappearance, man.
One night only in Nashville,
Kiss
Tennessee.
Makeup, all leather, unbuttoned down to your belly button.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And but then I played my first like performance with a guitar and me singing in my senior year of high school for basically like the male pageant shows of the joke things, like where you just do funny stuff all the time and you dance around like a fool.
Love it.
So my talent was to sing and play guitar, and I won. So I did something right.
There you go.
Awesome. And then ever since then, that's when shortly college started, and I was like, oh, we can keep doing this and make some money doing it, and played with some duos and stuff like that. And it was great.
Awesome, man. What kind of saxophone did you play?
I played alto, tenor, and Barry.
Really?
Yeah, Barry.
Sweet,
Barry, you would be a killer Barry
dude,
player,
Barry
man.
That's one of the goals. Like whether it's two things for now. Whether it's a big pub deal, or I win the lottery, or like I get in a really bad car accident, get a bunch of money or something like that. First thing the money's going towards, firstly, is a love sack couch. Okay. I told myself that. Unbelievable
I hate them because
couch.
of FedEx, but I love them because they're awesome.
Dude, they're sturdy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they come in like 17 boxes.
Yes, they do. My parents got one down in Florida, but the second one is a Barry saxophone.
No joke.
Because
I love that for you, man.
Dude,
That's awesome.
I played saxophone. So I started in band on trumpet in 6th grade, and then the summer after my 7th grade year, summer after my 6th grade year, I really wanted to play saxophone, tenor sax. And my band teacher said, we already have too many saxophones, and like your face is set up a certain way. Your embouchure is best set up for a trumpet. And I'm like, okay. Well, she ended up. Chris Tucker is like one of my top 5 people of all time, for not only the inspiration that she gave me when it came to music and like the way that I view music when it comes to like theory and stuff and how much that helped, but also she did one-on-one lessons with me once a week all summer. Wow. Took her own time to do it for free to teach me tenor saxophone, and then I played it in jazz band 7th and 8th grade, and then I went on in high school. I didn't play saxophone in high school because the people that played sax in jazz band were way better than I was, but I still played trumpet in concert band and then jazz band. But when I was in college, we had a thing, because one thing that was really fun about the way that my college's band program worked is they took you on the road, and you would go and play these things like, so as dumb as it sounds, they're these quilt museums. Okay. And like you think, okay, whatever, quilt museum. But for some reason, some of them just have an insane amount of funding, and they host like all these events and stuff there. So we would do that. But for this one thing, for this one show we did, I played a different instrument almost every song. So I played trumpet for one, tenor sax for another. We had this one really cool kind of bluesy song that I played French horn on. I played electric bass for another one, and then there was this one I'm so mad that it didn't work out, but they wouldn't lend me the sousaphone to be able to do it, but I was going to play sousaphone for one of the songs, like just this big crazy big band song.
Wow.
That's cool.
But yeah, saxophone's where it's at, man. I love it. I actually, this is so interesting. Charlie, my tour manager, he told me one day, because I told him I played saxophone, he's like, yeah, we have a saxophone somewhere in a storage unit in Minnesota. When we're up there, we can go get it. I'm like, okay, cool. And we got it, and like, whose is this? Like, we don't know whose name this is. And his dad goes, oh, that's my son's ex-boyfriend's saxophone. And I'm like, how the hell did you end up with your son's ex-boyfriend's saxophone? And I guess it was like he left it over there, and it was like the middle of a breakup thing. Fantastic saxophone, dude.
That's so
like
random.
a great saxophone.
Yeah. So
and
random.
I still have it. It's an alto sax, and I play it, but I don't know if I want to sell it and then find somebody with a tenor sax, because tenor sax is just
that's
my
the
bread and
money.
butter, dude. I love it. But Barry sax someday, 100%. They're so sick. There's this guy you guys should look up, and anybody watching should look up. His name is Leo P. He was in a band firstly called Lucky Chops. They're both based in New York City, and then another one called Too Many Zoos, which I think is still going. But there's another one. You heard of them, dude?
Both bands.
So
Phenomenal.
fire. Like, okay, so there's a video that Lucky Chops did in the subways in New York City, and they did this mashup of all these songs, and that was the first video of them that I saw. And dude, he's on another level. Like, Leo P is genuinely on another level. He did. So do you know what the BBC Proms is? For BBC, the British Broadcasting Network. It's a big like concert they put on, and they have all sorts of music, but like sometimes it's like classical singers, or it'll be like, famous celebrities singing like popular classical songs. But they had him on there one year where it was a whole 20-minute set, and he had the whole band behind him, the BBC band behind him, and they're like, it's kind of like a jazzy big band feel, but you gotta watch it. Like, he is an unbelievable performer, and like, you'll know it's him because he has pinks. He wears, in that one he wears a pink suit, has bright pink hair, and you're like, what is this guy doing? And he comes out, and you're like, whoa, he's so sick. So for me, that kick started the Barry sax love. It's such a sick instrument, dude. Such a sick instrument.
Well, break away from music a little bit. Axel, want to know more? Well, I guess it's not breaking away too much from music, but like, want to know a little bit more about you and how you feel about where we're at in music right now, country specifically, but
yeah, Nashville, like just where.
Yeah. What do you? It's like us growing up, we were still in the CD era, and now we've moved on.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much solely streaming at this point. Like, what's like your opinion on like what's going on in live music? What's going on in recorded music?
Yeah.
What's it like? As a younger musician, trying to figure out touring and playing shows live, and I know you played at the Basement twice pretty recently.
Yeah.
Like, what's that like? And what's your opinion on like what's going on, man?
Yeah. In the 3 years I've been in Nashville, I've watched a lot of venues close, live venues. So just the rent is too damn high, And so I think it's crucial that music as an industry keeps this the venues open for the young artists, because right now a lot of my friends are the equivalent of that is to get opening slots at bigger venues with bigger artists, which is great, but it's also, there's something to be said for doing a tour of like smaller venues or beginning venues, whatever, clubs. So I think that's crucial that sticks around for music, and also that's how people eat up. Americana music is on fire right now.
Oh yeah,
100%.
And I think growing up on the beach, the big thing was alternative indie surf films. That's when you found the up and coming artist. It was almost like if you put together a surf film, you had to find this obscure band, you know?
Wow.
And I don't even know how you do it all the time. You literally just listen to a lot of music, really. But going off of that with Americana, I feel like that is a similar thing. Americana loves that up and comer. Who's the next folk singer that's going to take over the world, kind of thing. And so if you take away those dive bars that they play at, how are you going to hear about them? I guess you'll hear about them on Spotify, but you got to break through all the noise of all the songs being released there. I think Spotify and Apple Music and all those things are great. I'm really curious to see how the finances pan out. There's a lot of talk about that's not really benefiting the songwriters, the musicians, anything like that. But I have had it put to me too. Back in the day, you'd spend $12 on an album, and now you're spending $12 a month for all of the albums in the world, basically.
There's a lot less flowing in, which means there's a lot less flowing out. Yeah. There's also just a lot more music too. Yeah. But shout out like NSAI and organizations like that are going literally to Congress and fighting for our funds, like how we
the Elvis Act and stuff. Dude, it's great.
Like what would we do without people representing us like that? That's like I don't know. I guess that's another question is like what could we be doing? What would you say to listeners, like consumers of music, are better ways to support recorded music and live music today?
Yeah, go out to the shows for sure. I think I personally will always be grateful for people spending their hard-earned money to go and watch a show. Like every show I put on is to entertain and get the most bang for their buck. You know? Just get the escape from the world for a little while, for however long. And I think that there's a lot of artists who do that. So if you're just looking for an escape from the world, go buy a ticket, Right. It probably will fix something in your life.
Dude, yeah.
Because you never know. You never know, like just some I have heard so many stories of just people deciding, I felt like going to a show. Felt like going and trying something new. So I look up a venue in my town, looked up their schedule. Oh, somebody's playing that night, went and grabbed a ticket. Yeah. Their favorite band.
Oh yeah.
One of their favorite songs.
Dude, I just went and saw. I love jam bands. Like big into jam bands. Big Head Todd and the Monsters.
Oh,
dude,
I'm so jealous. Insane. They're so cool.
I was just on a trip. We were in Lake Tahoe, and we're at a just random casino. Yeah. They were playing in the back room, and it was like $45 tickets. We ended up getting. It was me and a couple other guys, and we ended up with a free ticket. So we go and see the show, and they ripped. They're on their 40th anniversary tour of playing, and they only played like these little like casinos, clubs, and they go to the same ones every year, pretty much. Mm-hmm. They're actually going to play the taverns, the caverns.
Yeah,
the taverns.
Yeah. I was like, haven't heard of that one, but yeah,
the caverns here in Tennessee in a few months.
Crazy venue.
Yeah, dude. That was our second show. Was this random little casino in Lake Tahoe? It was beautiful, like awesome setup. Been driving through the mountains all day, and all of a sudden, boom, Big Head and Todd and the Monsters. Like,
and your day changed.
Yeah, totally. It. Literally, left that like on the biggest high. It was incredible. Like I just got to see some live music, and it literally like I was exhausted from all the traveling and get there, and like I walked out of there, I was ready to have a whole nother day. Oh yeah.
And for all you concert goers who think you leave with a high, imagine what the artists feel like.
Great point.
I guess that's my next question is like, what can, people just starting, like, what could they be doing? I guess in general, like, what's the best advice you have for them starting their career, but also what can they be doing to, encourage live music now?
Yeah. For anybody starting out, the big two things that I would say are you got to be nice. If you're an asshole, you're not going to make it in this business at all. You can get far, but you will come crumbling down at some point if you're an asshole. Then the second thing is you got to be okay with rejection like every day of your life. Every day. You can't take anything personal, or you can take things personal, but you have to remember that a lot of things are not personal. It's just business. We're songwriters. We know that you co-write with people that are your friends. You have friends that are songwriters that you don't co-write with. It's not that they don't like your songs. It's just it's business, friendship, two different things, kind of thing. And then I think content is the best and the worst thing for an artist. It's crazy how you can go viral after 10 minutes. I mean, 10-minute video. Wow. Yeah. After 10 seconds, more like it, the attention span, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah. And once again, going back to Tame by Tennessee, dude, I think that song did the way it did is because they were just hounding content.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is so, like, wildly different than any generation of musician before us.
True.
You know? Like, that's still a new thing. Like, it's been around, 10, 12, 15 years at this point, but it's still a new thing. You know? Like, when we were, still in our memory, MySpace was, like, fresh.
Dude, yeah.
Then Facebook.
I remember Instagram came up, and
I was in middle school.
Dude, I deleted the app because I was tired of seeing people's pictures of, like, flowers and cars. Yeah. They weren't posting about the highlight reel. They were just like, I'm a photographer today. I took this picture of a lamp and look at the, the lighting or whatever. And you're like, no one cares. And then somehow it switched to like, I just went to Belize for the third time. You're like, great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it really is cool. It's like, I like to think of it as a highlight reel for sure. Just for yourself or to promote to the whole world. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, man. And I think it's a way to support each other too.
Yeah. That's really like moving away. I mean, you get to see your friends back home and what they're doing and who's getting married and all that stuff. So
it can be a huge distraction at times, and like sometimes I wish the world didn't have it, but on like a daily basis, I don't live in my hometown. I live, it's in the same state, but it's the other side of the state. Like I get to keep up with the people I wouldn't see otherwise, and my family lives all over the freaking world at this point. Yeah. So to keep up with them, like that's the best way, without calling or texting every single day, and like I get little reminders of, oh, maybe I should call them because of that too.
True.
But how do you navigate that? Like, how do you know, like, what and when to post? I've heard a lot of, like, I mean, I'm a huge commenter because I don't post a ton because I'm a songwriter. It's different.
That is different. It is different.
But I do comment a lot because, like, it's a form of interaction that, like, people, they know I care a little bit more. So what are your, like, I don't know, strategies and like your best like advice on that too?
Yeah. I would say post more often than you think, for sure. It's hard to do. I'm not saying that it's easy, but post more than you think. And then commenting, interacting with other accounts is phenomenal strategy for sure too. And interacting with people who interact with your posts. Like, don't just let comments go unanswered,
those are your people, man.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are really rocking with you.
Yeah. And do that. If you're trying to build a brand, I would stick with that brand. I have some people who, like, every post they post is black and white, or they're doing a cooking page. You're not going to see them talking about Belize, they're going to post about what they cooked, kind of thing. So
I think in the middle of that, though, it's still important to be genuine.
Yeah.
So finding ways to incorporate that, and that's like finding that balance, especially for me, has definitely been tough. But for some people, their entire brand is just them being genuine and doing whatever it is that they want to. And I think that for some people, it's easier to lock into a brand and an image and that reputation that you want and encapsulating that in social media. Which I know people do that absolutely phenomenally because that's the best way that they can represent themselves. But some people want to represent themselves as just exactly what they are because some people feel that connection to their audience in that way.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel that. I kind of, the way that I see it is just interacting and getting your face in front of people is so important. And also just like giving people multiple reasons to fall in love with you and with what it is that you're doing in whatever it is. But I think I think that dynamic is changing, especially in what people are looking for, because in my experience, just like personally, if I see somebody that really has it down, they have their brand down, they have their style down, but then you kind of get that inside look where it's just them like recording a video of them talking about something just like in their kitchen. You get that personal element in there.
You hit the nail on the head there, because everything that I had just said about building a brand is not what I do. I do not curate my post to be like only music, even though it's a music page. You'll see me, I don't know, riding my mini bike around or something.
Right.
Dumb.
Yeah, you got some sick content.
You know, but going back to it, yeah, just like I thought this was fun, and like I said, almost for me, it's almost like a personal scrapbook that I can like just look back and be like, oh, I remember that trip or whatever.
Yeah.
And then going to the genuine thing too, like Post Malone is a dude that I follow on Instagram because I like what he's doing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't even know he was going to put out a country album, but I was like, well, that's freaking cool too. You know, everyone, Beyonce kickstarts at Post. I think there's another Nickelback's coming out with a country album. Like
MGK just did it,
dude. Like
Young Gravy put out one.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Hop on the bandwagon. But anyways, like I love that Post is doing weird things like that, and I kind of stopped watching his page because for the longest time, at least I don't know if he's changed it, but it was just still photos of his live performances, and I was like, wow, that's great and all, but I want to see like you said, Post Malone in his kitchen. Like, what's he doing at 3:00? You know, or on the tour bus when he's like coming up with some silly phrase. Like I would love that to see.
He's
that
just
content.
the most interesting person in the world, man.
You know,
so sick.
I think, well, White Flores, like that's how I found him, was his random stuff he was doing on tour. You know, like it was just videos of him like goofing off with his friends on the beach, like or like doing something dumb on a farm in Oklahoma. Like it was that stuff that I saw.
Not the music.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. And I was like, oh, this is some sick music. You know, like it took that like extra level of like, I liked him, so I checked out his music.
Yeah.
You know, and I see that a lot with your content. Like you a lot of your stuff on the farm. Like I'm really interested in it because like that's stuff that I like to do.
Yeah.
You know, seeing you on the side by side, like that kind of stuff is interesting to me. I see it, and I see your damn smile. And you're like, you just
all day,
giggling your butt off, and like, man, like this guy's cool. You know, like what's he doing? You know.
Yeah.
So I do like that's a good point of you got to be yourself on there,
genuine,
and post your music. You know, you can't post your music and then expect people to only want to see that, because I mean that's kind of like the whole point of what we're doing here is like we want to know you as a person just as much as we want to enjoy your music.
I think that brings up that same point that you made earlier about how people, like especially in the Americana and country and folk worlds more so than ever, they want to see that next up and comer. They want to see the rising star, and that's why I think that it's so important. While especially while you're still developing your brand, you're developing your following, like where we are, being genuine and talking about the things that you're doing throughout your day and like the struggles that come with it and things like that, while also getting people excited about what's coming next. Is people like that's one of the reasons that people crave that like being on the train, being on the rocket ship when it starts to take off for the person, because then they get to say, oh, I remember when he was just like posting videos in his kitchen at 3:00. You know what I mean?
True.
Developing that relationship through the screen with people,
that was
while you're at that level still.
That was Red Clay Strays. I got to see them go from like posting videos sitting in a recliner singing classic songs to all of a sudden now they're selling out massive venues and they're doing the same thing. They're doing, like they did not change. Yeah. And that's really cool to see too. Like they still post those random clips. And they still do it. Now they're just doing it from the backstage at Red Rocks or like Laurel Cove. They're sitting there on a golf cart goofing off with each other. Like it's cool. And like we're getting to see that in live time. It's pretty cool. It's unique, and I know that's one reason I do like social media, despite a lot of its downfalls.
And it's a whole nother creative outlet too, like with 3 Sheets to the Wind. And you're like, we're gonna put 3 sheets up, and we're gonna record it. It's like that's a whole nother aspect to that song. Now I have a visual.
You got another good example of that with Seattle, dude.
Dude. Oh, that was so. I don't know if you know the story. I have a song out called Seattle, but the way that started is there's these guys. They do a podcast. It's called the Playdate Podcast with Will and Rusty, and they just do all these like little bits and stuff. And one of them is country songs that don't exist.
Oh,
and,
yes.
And Will starts singing this like, he's like, there's the only one seat on the saddle, and I can't fight your battles. I'm leaving Seattle tonight. And then I saw that. I'm like, okay, this would be fun. So I took that video and I stitched it and I wrote the rest of the song. It's about this cowboy who's stuck way far away from home in Washington with this girl that he thought that he was in love with, and he's singing about how he's going to leave. And I just did that kind of for fun, and it blew up out of nowhere. And then it was so fun to do. And one reason why it was cool is I got the chance to like talk about striking while the iron's hot. I finished the song, and then as the video was going crazy that night, I went over to my buddy Josh's house and we recorded, because all that it is guitar and a vocal and harmonica on it. And we went and we stayed up till literally I got over there way late, and we stayed up till like 8 o'clock in the morning. Stayed up all night recording that song, and then I put it out 2 days later.
Yes.
And it was like, just doing that is so fun. And that's one thing that I think is cool about social media is it provides a challenge in how can I be dynamic and change or make a change in what I'm doing that people might not expect, that just makes it fun. Because at the end of the day, like, I think that so many people forget music is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to have so much fun doing it and making it, and it's supposed to challenge you. And I think that especially with people like where we're at is people sometimes get lost in that, and they're so focused on making the next hit or like going with a producer that has had so much experience with this specific style of music, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with. I've done that exact same thing. But along with, while we're still working and developing our brand and we're developing our image and how we want to be perceived, like at the end of the day, we're all independent and we can do whatever the hell we want to, man.
It's true.
We get to do whatever the hell we want to.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's no wrong answers.
You are the man.
Yeah. I think there's two big things that I've learned in Nashville. One of them, nobody knows shit about fuck. Nobody knows anything, dude. Whoever it is that says that they know something, like, like there might be some victories they've had or success in something. Anybody that has all the answers does not know shit about fuck. But also, I guess 3 things. Secondly, being yourself is so important, and being yourself in the way that, and using those avenues and those mediums to be yourself, whether it's the music or the social media, do it and be genuine. Because if it does take off in the way that a lot of us want it to, and people are in love with somebody that you're not, then you're exhausted, man. Yeah. And that's another thing that I could talk about for sure.
I think we've probably seen that with a lot of artists too that end up burning out.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of artists I listen to, like especially in high school, like they don't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like there was a few, especially this happened a lot. I feel like in other genres more than country. Like country, like it stays with you pretty consistently, which is cool. But I saw a lot of artists fizzle out. Now they work at Walmart, dude. Like that's such a consistent thing, anyways. But to hit a main stage and then do that is a whole nother span. And I think it started because no one knew how to do social media yet.
Right.
But
I think so. That ultimately too comes back to the third point, which is, like I was saying, is have fun. And I think that's one of the reasons is that people do get that burnout sense. That sense of burnout is the fun stops, and the fun can stop for a lot of different reasons. It can happen because you're on the road 120 days a year, or because you're having issues outside of your music career and things like that. But having fun is so important. I think that the way that you can have the most fun in Nashville, in music, and in whatever it is, I think in general, is by surrounding yourself with people that also like to have fun.
Yeah.
Because if you're filling those gaps,
by going and two-stepping and line dancing.
Exactly.
Girls.
Yeah. Girls, man.
Dude, that's a good.
Gotta have fun, man.
That's a good transition. So, I want to know a little bit more about you as like a person outside of your music. Like, what makes you tick?
Yeah.
And we'll start with that. What makes you tick?
Dude, I heard this. I think that this is a great question. What is, out of anything in the world, I think that this is a great way to get insight on somebody as a person. If there is anything in the whole world that you think that you could medal at, be top 3 in the world, if there was an Olympics for this thing, whether it's like, because I have a handful of things that I think that I could do that, and they're so stupid, dude. It could be literally like whatever. So is there something that you have either spent way too much time on, or you have like just a crazy amount of interest in, or something that's off the wall that people listening might not expect.
Yeah. Let's think here. This is a tough one. First thing that comes to mind, I feel like if you give me some palettes, I could make something like objectively cool. Out of some palettes.
Yeah. Fort.
Yeah.
Do you have an example?
Hell yeah.
Dude, I made like just scrap wood in general. You have to be consistent, so I said pallets, but like scrap wood, you just like I made like a guitar rack, made some bookshelves, made you got to make the fort every once in a while, you know.
Dude,
but
I made a tree house growing up.
Yeah.
Old scrap wood.
You know, so it's just like you gotta have a good time.
I did that too, and it broke with me up in it.
Dude, mine's still standing. My
Is it really?
Yeah. So my
Built to last.
Built to last.
Yeah. Well, so I'm hoping, like, I've got some young nephews, and they live right next to where I grew up. I'm hoping they still get to use it because it's literally like right in the backyard.
Yeah. Sick.
But that leads me. What is a fact that people like your fans need to know about you?
Dude, one word: dancing. I'm not even kidding you. Like that is
Dirty Dancing,
dude.
man.
That is the whole. That is my being. I like dancing.
Yeah,
when I'm brushing my teeth, I'm dancing. When I'm doing the dishes, I'm dancing. When I'm like on stage, I just can't help but moving. Like you guys have seen the show. You've been a part of the
Dude,
show.
the way
It's
you
like,
move on
just
stage is so awesome.
Oh my God.
Like your
non-stop,
stage
dude.
presence is unbelievable, and that shows. You look like somebody that dances while you're doing the dishes, dude. I love it.
Because there are times when I subconsciously I'm on stage and like, oh man, I have not stopped. I probably should stop. I think that lasts for a split second, and then I'm back to like doing something
dude,
crazy.
yeah.
you
Never
know?
stop.
It's like
never stop.
And
You got the Elvis in you, dude.
dude, I wish. Funny thing is, back in 8th grade, kind of unrelated, but my English teacher told me that she was convinced that I was a hippie who died on a good trip. Overdosed and died.
Okay. What a sick English
Yeah,
teacher.
dude. I know.
Great compliment.
Miss
Yeah.
Fry, dude. I love her, dude. And,
Wow.
That's Miss Fry.
yeah, dude. Yeah, shout
Miss
out.
Fry
Dude.
thinks you died on a trip.
yeah.
Good.
But yeah, just like I don't know, just I love dancing. It always makes me happy. And
You can hear it in your music, man.
Thanks, man.
Really hear it in
and
your music.
the coolest thing too is like at the basement when we played that slow song and these people were dancing to it, and then they come up and tell me the story afterwards and all this. That's why I do music. That's my gauge. Like if people are dancing to a fast or slow song, did something right.
Yeah.
You know.
I love that that's your thing. Like
Yeah.
I love it that you are dancing music. Like not you don't just make it, but you are it. Like that
Yeah,
is
dude, I'm trying, man.
That is your thing. And
Yeah,
I
dude.
mean, just from knowing you as like a friend, like it penetrates every part of your life. It's pretty
sure.
cool to see.
I'm,
Like,
I'm glad that comes out. you
oh
know,
yeah,
it's
man,
good.
dude.
It's good.
I mean, it's in your boots.
It's in the
in
boots,
your
dude.
boot.
I've worn some holes in some boots. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's so cool the way that comes across for you as well, because there's all different types of dancing, man. And I think that goes like, I mean, if you want to get philosophical with it, life's got all type of dancing, man.
Yeah.
There's two-step, and there's like, I mean, my favorite line dance, I was gonna say this earlier, is the Rude Dude dance to
Oh,
Church
yeah.
by T-Pain. It's not a country song, but dude, it's a fire dance. Sometimes like you're throwing it back, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like sometimes that's the vibe. Sometimes it is slow dancing with your woman in the middle of a dance floor at a country show. Sometimes it's slow dancing in the headlights or in the kitchen or something like that. It's
And you
we
slip
as
and
humans-
fall. It's all good.
exactly.
You get back
still
up and
slip
you
it,
dance.
You get back
man.
up, and you got to learn how to do it, man.
Literally
You gotta
shake
learn
it
how to
off.
do it. Just shake it off.
Come on, Tay Tay.
Speaking, I mean, you make dancing music. And you put some out.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us another song? Are you prepared to do that?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, this one is let me think here. I'll do one. I don't know if this is as dancing, but it's kind of fun. Oh. Let's see here. This one is my next single coming out is a slow dance song, but
Love it.
this one is you said a half step down?
Yeah, it's a hand
I
step.
think we can rock with that.
You want to pick?
Yeah, if you got one.
Here, I got one right here.
Thanks.
That's a musician. This is prepared.
I'm real prepared. This I'm prepared right now. Hang on. Here you go. You can keep that one.
I hope the camera goes that low so they can see you reaching in your pocket.
So this one is another thing as a songwriter. I feel like it's crucial is from someone who's tried to write fake songs. It doesn't work. You just got to write what's true, what comes out of you, what you experience. So this was inspired because I hadn't seen my college girlfriend for like 3 years, 2 years, something like that. And I went back home and she was like, we should go on a date. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's go on a date. And then she's a great girl. She's a great girl. But it did inspire this like bad memory of like when you think of your exes, you think of all the good times. And you kind of sequester or press down the bad ones because you want to remember the good parts, So this song's just about how you forget about those bad memories sometimes. But like I said, she's a great girl. Not too many hard feelings. Ran into each other again. Must have been 3 years since. Caught up like a day hadn't passed, and it all came flooding right back. Your smile still makes my heart stop. Seems like you haven't changed a lot. I should have taken that as a warning, but that wasn't the only thing I was ignoring. Guess I forgot about a few things, like how you could stretch a line. And you thought you were too good for me, but I could never leave your side. I only remembered what I wanted to believe, and I almost forgot that I have a bad memory. That whiskey was doing my thinking. Our ship had sailed, but now it's sinking. You said I was always on your mind. If that was the case, where were you the whole time? The neon shows the devil in your eye. Now that charm ain't gonna work tonight. One day I might reminisce, but tonight you shot your shot and missed. Guess I forgot about a few things, like how you could stretch a line. And you thought you were too good for me, but I could never leave your side. I only remembered what I wanted to believe, and I almost forgot that I have a bad memory. Sick guitar solo right here, A bad memory is what you are. Bad memory is what I have. My memory's coming back, and you and I should just stay in the past. Cause guess I forgot about a few things, like how you could stretch a line. And you thought you were too good for me, but I could never leave your side. I only remembered what I wanted to believe, and I almost forgot that I have. And I almost forgot that I have a bad memory.
Killer.
Come on.
Heck yeah.
I almost forgot that I have a bad memory.
What
man.
a good hook.
That's
that's awesome, dude.
Oh, brother. Okay. Yeah, dude. You got some custom picks? Oh, yeah. We got to hold on to this one. You throw them out in the crowd?
Do what?
We'll wait.
Every now and then. Every now and then I'll throw them.
Yeah, so.
That's awesome. Heck yeah. Man, you are killer.
So good.
I wish we had like 7 more hours to talk.
It's been fun.
I think you're going to be a return guest for sure, dude.
Yeah.
Anytime.
We got so much more to talk about, man.
Oh my gosh.
Sure.
I'm so excited for you, man.
Yeah, dude. Thank you.
Thankful for your friendship. I'm excited to see you keep growing, and
same to y'all, man.
hopefully I can play some more bass for you. Dude, that was so much fun.
Great. I'm glad you had a good time.
Great show.
Yeah.
Sick show,
Dude.
man.
Got some more shows.
I want to see you from the crowd, too. I want to see you just scooting and boogieing up there.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Let's tie it up here. What else? What do you got coming that's new? You got new music? What shows you got coming up?
Yeah, I got some new music coming out, and this is gonna be that like sultry love song, little slow dance action.
You got a release date for us? Are we allowed to break that news?
No, we're in the middle of producing it right now.
Okay.
So we're gonna lay some BGVs in this upcoming week,
Cool.
and then we'll go from there. Might get some more instruments in. We'll see. But so that's coming out. No date yet, and then but hopefully early 2025.
Okay.
Right
cool.
on.
February, January, something there.
Sweet, man. Where can people find you?
Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
Axel Raz Music, AXEL RAS Music. And that is for everything: Spotify, YouTube, TikTok. MySpace, I guess. Yeah, Vine, bring that back. Yeah,
town
Rip
bulletin
Vine.
board.
yeah, the town.
Dude,
bulletin
Rip
board.
Vine, man. Oh,
Yeah.
I miss Vine.
So, but yeah, thank you guys for having me. I'm excited for the upcoming shows as well that you
Absolutely.
guys are putting on, the podcast and everything.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be great.
Yeah, we had a blast, man. It was great getting to know you more. So glad we were able to get you on, bro.
Heck yeah.
Thanks, guys.
So
Let's write a
thanks for listening, guys.
Y'all ready to write a country song?
Let's write a country song.
Let's write a country song.
Right now.
Hell yeah.
Hell
All right, that's
yeah.
Coop and Coop.